Well, Table Hero, I'm glad to have you here. We got a big enemy ahead of us here, and I'm gonna need your help to get to the finish line. Darth Bane is finally ready to be farmed in Galaxy of Heroes. But there's a problem. There's this big evil boogeyman, the evil Capital Games! I hope you're ready for the Ewoks. 5 bajillion foresights, quadrillions of staggers, and turning up the heat with Paz Vizsla. If you want to unlock Bane and you're up for the challenge, hit that like button, because we as a community need to band together to take it on. Now, to get you motivated, the first thing I want to talk about is the gold and red crates. Our goal to get to the finish line, gold crate, is truly what our end goal is. Overall, if you are shooting for red crate, you can skip out on a total of 34 key cards. However, there's a catch. A lot of them are already going to be off the table for you to decide because you might not have things like a Leia, a Jedi Knight Cal. But gold crate, this, although you won't get a 7-star character right away, between getting gold crate, the variety of scavenger nodes that give you another 20 shards of Bane every single conquest, and if you even get the conquest pass for $10, you get dangerously close to a 7-star Bane, which puts you in a couple months after conquest is over to getting Bane. And the reason why gold crate looks so nice is because you can skip out on a total of 134 key cards to get the gold. Definitely a nicer bunch to work with. Now, I know you guys are bold players because only the best play in my town, but you don't want to be going head on into conquest without data discs. Data discs are going to do the heavy lifting, and the good news is we still got one of the best meta data discs available to us. The best data discs for this season are pretty much like the previous ones. Try to get yourself an Amplify Agony, 1 Volatile Accelerator, Thermal Exhaust to make those thermal detonators go boom, 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 and a Caustic Emissions Ability Exhaust as well. And another great option is Unstable Decelerator. Even with low gear teams, you're going to hope that the data discs take care of the enemies for you. Are you still awake? We haven't even started yet! It's time to talk about the feats. No, I'm not talking about these feats right here. Moral of the story with the feats that we have here today, ladies, gentlemen, Gungans, droids, is it's not hard. We have a game plan for you to get through all these feats hypothetically without any galactic legends. You can do it. It's just boring as hell. Let's start off with the global feats, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? With the global feats here, we're looking at your typical 250 enemies defeated on the golden challenge path, 40 battles with full first order, 20 battles of light side Mandalorians surviving, keyword surviving, 40 battles with Princess Nisa, Chirpa, Wicked, Papu, Logre, 40 battles of full squad of rebels, and defeating 100 enemies with Veers and Admiral Piet. So here's what the board's looking like, people. When it comes to the first order, you got a variety of ways to handle it. Technically, you don't need a galactic legend, Supreme or Cow Run to get to the first order. But of course, I'm assuming a lot of you guys have it, especially the light speed bundles in mind. You want to try to spread your first order as much as possible so you can take out as many of the first order challenges as possible. 40 battles we got to do. So, couple of lineups I'm suggesting here. If you have Supreme Leader Kyle Ren, boom, he has a whole team on his own. Boom, full team on his own. If you don't have Supreme Leader Kyle Ren, then you're going to want to bounce between a Hux lead and a Captain Phasma lead. Point being is, this is easy, but again, grind as hell. Mandalorians are new to this list, ladies and gentlemen. And the light side Mandalorians, to be specific. This one is going to be a little bit annoying. Again, not impossible. Global feats you can do on any of the sectors, so maybe on Sector 1 you knock these out, because remember, they all have to survive. And there's not a lot of light side Mandalorians here. This is basically what the light side Mandalorians look like without the new Bo-Katan Mandalore, without the new Paz Vizsla, although we are going to need him in a couple of battles, and without the new IG-12 and Grogu. It's not a great team, but it gets the job done. So if you're having a hard time winning, even if you're great data disc, and I'm hoping you're picking up, Sector 1's going to be your opportunity to make sure you get through these. God dang, Ewoks are back on the menu, super annoying, and it's a very specific Ewok team with Chirpa, Nisa, Wicket, Papu, and Logray, and they gotta survive! This might be one you end up skipping out on, as we'll talk about in my recommended skipping data disc term. God dang, there's too much terminology with this thing. Now, I'm not going to hold your hand and treat you like a baby on this one, because I know you guys have the high IQ needed to take on the Rebels feats. 40 battles with the full squad of Rebels, it's not hard. So many Rebel teams, from Commander Luke Skywalker to Radis to Phoenix. If you have Galactic Legend Leia, more power to you. The most annoying one, outside the Ewoks in my opinion, is going to be likely the Veers, Piet. For me personally, on my main account, I'm going to be running this on my main and my free-to-play account. On my main account, I'm going to see if I can try to skip out on this. It's just annoying getting 100 kills of Veers or Piet. Not impossible, but again, kind of annoying. But if you're going to have to skip out on a bunch of other feats, like the Jedi Knight Cal, Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, Leia, you might not be able to skip out on that. So pretty much what I'm recommending is let's try to make a Trooper team that doesn't have things like Dark Trooper, because Dark Trooper will steal all the thunder and get a lot of kills. So try to make your team mostly a defense-oriented one with Veers and Piet getting the kills. So that's the global feats. Let's keep these in mind as we pop. They're all of the sectors. And speaking of sectors, let's get to the first into the boogeyman's lair. Sector 1. Sector 1 is demanding 14 battles won with a full squad of resistance. Gain, adapt, or die 50 times. Defeat 14 enemies of Saw Gerrera. Attempt to inflict 500 stacks of damage over time. And there's a bit of an oddball mini-boss. 5 IG series droids winning. Luckily, it's only one time. A lot of options for resistance. Nothing too special here. You can hypothetically create 3 resistance teams if you have that luxury afforded to you. I know a lot of you guys got the lights bundle, so maybe you're in a good situation. We're talking a Finn lead team. If you have Zori, this should be easy money. Jedi Training Rey could technically make her own resistance team with the leftover droids for the resistance. And then Galactic Legend Rey, again, you don't need her, but if you have the option, Galactic Legend Rey with the leftover resistance got the job done. A lot of ways to get the resistance, nothing too crazy. Now, unfortunately, with Sector 1, there's not a lot of feats that kind of blend together, so you can't do a lot of double dipping. For example, Iden Versio, you need to get adapt or die 50 times. Again, not impossible. It's going to take a couple battles, and then she's the only one that can grant adapt or die. So Iden Versio is the key. You don't need to use this team specifically. You only have Iden Versio to get the job done. Now, Stonewall Saw, you got a couple ways to cut this bacon up. Why bacon? Okay, all right, whatever. You can just do a typical Saw lineup with the Rebels, throw them in a variety of lineups. This will help for the global feat with that we need for Rebels. But if you have Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker is so pivotal to cheese a lot of light side oriented things. This was a similar thing we saw in the last conquest of Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. Jedi Master Luke with Wat Timbor, throw in whatever Jedi you want, get the tank tech over on Master Luke, and have the Master Luke lead keep calling Saw Gerrera to assist. It should be easy money. Otherwise, if you don't have Master Luke, you just got to go the old-fashioned route with Saw Gerrera inside of a Rebel lineup and hope he gets the kills. The last sector feats that we have. Damage over time. 500 of them. Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun, Capital Games. You really know how to keep us happy. Couple ways going about it. If you have Lord Vader, this should be very easy to accomplish. But I'm assuming you might not have Lord Vader, one of the least acquired galactic legends in the game, period. So you got a couple of options. Use Darth Vader primarily, whether it's Palpatine lead or maybe do a Darth Vader lead and just spam a bunch of characters that have damage over time. Even if these lines look a little wonky, even if you lose the battle, all the progress you made towards damage over time will still count. So make sure you finish the battle. Even if it looks like you're losing, it'll count the progress towards damage over time. Again, we're just trying to get in there and get the job done. Now, I normally don't talk about mini boss feats and stuff like that because there's only so much you can do. It's very specific. I want to just make sure the IG series challenge that we have for the mid boss is asking for a full squad of IG series droids, which is basically just these. You have no other wiggle room. So IG-88, IG-11, IG-100, IG-86, and IG-12 and Grogu. Luckily, it's only a one-time deal. Hope you're not scared away, Holotable Hero, because we still got more to go. Although the IG squad is a one-and-done thing, Sector 1 is not enough to get us to the finish line. So let's get to Sector 2. 14 battles with a full squad of bounty hunters. Attempt to inflict confuse 40 times, potency up 40 times, and defeat 50 enemies with Empire units. So one of the nice things here, unlike Sector 1, we have a couple ways to kind of double dip a little bit within one battle. So first up, we have the bounty hunters, and here I really urge you to try to make sure you get that potency up kind of tucked away in there. Yes, there's a lot of bounty hunter lineups. That's just one of many. But whatever you do, I highly recommend you have that Greedo ready to go. Greedo's got one of the few bounty hunter potency ups. Whether you throw it in a boss lead like here, or if you have Jabba the Hutt, throw him in the Jabba the Hutt team. We want to double dip. Get the bounty hunters. Get the potency up. Easy money. Now, although I'm just as confused as you guys are why Capital Games makes Conquest the way it is, but we have to talk about the confused debuff. Now, there's really not a lot of ways of doing it because C-3PO is going to be your ticket there. So hopefully you have C-3PO. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on a lot of this confusion stuff. Several ways of going about it. Of course, you could just do a traditional Rebel lineup with Commander Luke Skywalker. Or, potentially, if you have Jedi Training Rey, you could do Jedi Training Rey into droids. A lot of ways to get confused out there. C-3PO constantly assisting off the BB-8 R2 combo, all that cool stuff. And hey, Master Luke showing up here. Let me give you a spoiler. Master Luke is going to show up a lot. If you have the guy, this is even easier. Master Luke can just keep calling C-3PO for the assist with his lead special. Boom, boom, boom. Get they're confused, probably faster than the other option. And then we have to defeat 50 enemies with Empire units. Now, there's a lot of Empire lineups out there. You don't need me to tell you every single one of them, but what I do urge you is when you are doing the Empire feat, try to tuck in and double dip into is the potency up feat. And also keep in mind the Veers Piet feat we have in the global feats. So speaking of Veers and Piet, you could just do this Veers and Piet. Hopefully they get the kills to contribute towards that global feat. But Scout Trooper with that potency up should help out a ton. Throw the Scout Trooper with Iden Versio to get that potency up again. Or you can also cheese it with this Emperor Palpatine line between Palpatine, Mara Jade, Fifth Brothers got potency up, and Sith Marauder again. It doesn't need to be a full Empire team. Just the Empire characters have to get the kills. So a lot of ways to do it. So whatever we do here, we need to make sure we're double dipping with potency up, whether it's with Bounty Hunters, the Imperials. I need you guys to stay strong. We're only through Sector 2, but we're almost halfway through. Coming in with Sector 3. Now Sector 3, we have a lot of opportunities to double dip. Full squad of Tuskens, critical chance up for 40 times, heat 100 times, and inflict daze 100 times. Now Tuskens might be one you end up skipping because you just don't have the full team in your roster. Oh, that would suck, but that's just how the way it is. But what we are going to try to double dip in is the daze, the critical chance up, and also keeping in mind those global feats, such as the Ewoks. In the Ewok team, Logre's got the daze, Wicked's got the critical chance up. Cool. Let's with triple dip. Mandalorians. We need a full light side Mandalorian team. We also have Days of Bo-Katan, and Sabine Wren's got critical chance up. We have opportunities for Rebels. We need a lot of Rebel teams for that global feat, so this might be helpful. Princess Leia, critical chance up. Captain Han's got a daze, a bone. Triple dipping again. Bad Batch. We have critical chance up, and we have daze on the team. Just like the Mandalorians, we have an opportunity for Phoenix with the daze from Captain Rex, with Sabine Wren's critical chance up. Another triple dipper. Hey, it's a Master Luke again. Heat is going to be truly the biggest struggle when it comes to Sector 3. But just like we talked about before, Master Luke, Lee can keep calling Paz Vizsla to assist. Try to get Paz Vizsla's heat up and running. And why don't we try to work towards other things? Kiadi-Mundi, if you have him, could be great for days. Anakin's got some great critical chance. So again, here, we are triple dipping. So whenever you're doing in Sector 3, you should be trying to get a double dipper or a triple dipper in one battle. You're doing great, Holotable Hero. But we aren't done yet. Sector 4. Inside of Sector 4, 14 battles with a full squad of light side unaligned force users. Critical damage up 40 times. Inflict expose 100 times. Defeat 10 enemies of Captain Drogon. Win with only dark side characters. Win with Leia Organa surviving. That one could be problematic. So there's good and bad news. Bad news is the light side unaligned force users could probably be a problem for some people if you don't have that many. The good news is, maybe not as much as Sector 3. We do have some double dipping opportunities here. So light side unaligned force users, I'm going to give you 3 examples. You could do a Seer Junda lineup with whatever. Again, you're going to have to hope your data discs do a lot of the work for that type of team. Rey with unaligned force users, if you have, is another option. Now, this one could be a bit tricky, but maybe if data discs, it won't be too bad. I just want to put it on your radar. You could technically do a Jedi training Rey lead to get the full unaligned force team, but more importantly, get the exposes through Jedi training Rey. If you're finding yourself losing battles, maybe stick to the first 2, but just putting the option out there. Critical damage. There's a lot of ways to get critical damage on here. But again, we want to try to keep in mind some of the global and sector feats we want to double dip and triple dip in. Example, Ewoks. We have crit damage baked into that global feat Ewok team, so you don't need them for the sector, but again, it'd be great trying to use them here and use them in the global feat. First Order with Supreme Kyle Ren lead. Attackers will gain critical damage up. Try to keep a full squad of attackers, Aether and Hux, because Hux guarantees that the advantage gets thrown on the team right away. Triggers all those buffs, so that should help you get through it fast. And global feat. I'm going to throw another couple examples your way. Imperial Troopers. We have Veers and Piet helping you towards the global feat, but also Stark has critical damage up. Now, I'm just going to throw another example on here. I'm not sure how much I can recommend this. It doesn't really help for many other feats, a little bit for some other stuff. Darth Malgus has critical damage up on the basic through Unfettered Rage, but it's only for Sith Empire allies. But it does help you a little bit because we have a little bit of expose on this team. But speaking of expose, let's get to the real expose home runners here. Coming in again with another Resistance lineup. Finn is going to be the OG when it comes to this. Jedi Training Rey lead is going to be another option here. Trying to stick to a full team of droids. BT has a nice AoE expose as well. Works well with all the droid synergy. Agent of Destruction. Giving you a couple of Rebel examples as well to try to churn through the global feat. We have things like Radis, who has expose in his lead. Jin has expose on her lead as well. Jin might be one of the easiest to cheese through it very quickly, especially the data discs that we're recommending. Enemies that suffer debuffs during Rebel allies turns have 50% chance to also become exposed for 2 turns. So this might actually help out tremendously nicely with all the data discs that are very debuff oriented. And then we have good old Drogon. They gotta make sure you squeeze a couple of those in here. So Drogon, you can throw in a variety of rebel lineups. This is just one example. And again, it'll help out your global feat or Jedi Master Luke if you want to cheese your way through it. Just have Master Luke get the Drogon kills with his lead targeting Drogon all time. It'll make sure that Drogon gets the kills rather than some other people that might get the kills on the rebel team. Hold on tight, guys. We're almost there. Pushing through the finish line. We have Sector 5. Sector 5 looks annoying, but we're going to make it happen. 50 enemies defeated with clone trooper units. Inflict stagger 300 times. Gain foresight 300 times. Defeat 10 enemies with Iden Versio. Win with Dark Trooper Moff Gideon surviving for the mini boss. There's going to be a lot of annoying stuff here. We got a game plan to try to dip into as many of these as possible. We need lots of clone kills, so you're going to have opportunities. For example, Bad Batch. But the good thing about Bad Batch, we also got foresight on the team, so Bad Batch might be one of the home runners here. We also have other clone opportunities, for example, with Captain Rex in the 501st, but you're not going to be able to double dip nearly as much as the Bad Batch. But again, another option. Or, hey, Jedi Master Luke again. Throw in a clone of some sort, have Master Luke lead, keep calling that clone to assist, and I would recommend if you are going to do this, at least put Grandmaster Yoda and Hermit Yoda in so you can also make contributions towards foresight. Now, stagger. A lot of ways to get through stagger, and remember, just like our damage over time conversation, it's a lot of stagger we got to throw out there. So even if you lose the battle, just let it lose so it contributes towards your overall goal. You don't need to win with all the staggers. You just got to try to throw it out there. So an option, light side Mandalorian. Sabine Wren's got a stagger on her, so this might be a good opportunity here. Have a couple of staggers of Stark, Scout Trooper, and Admiral Piet and Veers helping towards the global feat potentially. And when all else fails, just spam tons of stagger with Mara Jade, Stark, Krennic, and Bastila Shan. This will help you get through the stagger feat very quickly. Maybe not win the battle, but it'll definitely cheese your way through as quickly as possible. And a triple dipper right here. We have a rebel team. We got a team that applies stagger with Sabine, and we have foresight with Kanan Jarrus, and Zeb also has a single stagger. So another nice triple dipper right here. Phoenix are going to help out a lot in this conquest. Speaking of foresight, it's a lot of foresight to throw out there. So if you're finding yourself pressed for a couple more foresight, or you just want to get through it very quickly, this is going to be the way to go. Qui-Gon Jinn gives foresight at the very beginning. Yoda can spread foresight. Kenobi has foresight in the basic. Hermit Yoda's got foresight. Jedi Knight Revan just to keep passing turns to people just to get some more foresight out there. This is going to be quick, easy foresight spam. Might not be good enough to win battles in Sector 5, but again, you don't need to win to get contributions towards the foresight feat. And then Iden Versio. She's playing a weird role in this conquest for some reason. Iden Versio going to need to defeat 10 enemies. Not a lot, but unlike the light side, we don't have a Master Luke for the dark side to kind of keep her coming for the assist. You might need to stick to like a traditional Iden lineup. So we made it. That's our overall game plan for all the sector feats. Now remember, for the red crate, you can skip out on a total of 34 key cards, but you might run into a few issues, such as not having Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. Boom, that's 4 key cards you lost right there. Not having Galactic Legend Leia for Sector 4. Boom, that's another 4 key cards right there. Not having Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, Sector 5. Boom, that's another 3 key cards right there. That's 11 key cards you're missing out, which takes your 34 budget to a 23. And the ones I would probably recommend skipping are just things you might not have in your rosters. Tuskens and Ewoks are kind of the two that look like it could be difficult if you don't have a full team of them. So again, look at your roster, see what you can skip, do the math. Again, 34 key cards you could skip out on for red crate, so you got to see what your roster is a bit weak in those certain departments. If you're going for gold crate, you have so much more of a budget. 134 key cards you can skip in total. So this really gives you the breathing room. Skip out on the Cal, the Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, the Leia. You can skip out on the Tuskens, the Ewoks, the Veers and Piet. So again, truthfully, there's a lot of ways to get through this conquest. It's a lot of stuff on the platter you got to take care of. Aiming for a gold crate really gives you the breathing room to achieve that goal. That is the goal. Gold crate is the new red crate if you think about it. And I hope this video was helpful for you guys. The next couple months, we're going to be grinding here again. I'm going to be doing conquest on 2 accounts. If I can do it on 2, you can dominate 1. I hope to see you at the finish line with Bane unlocked in your roster or very close. Now get out there, show Capital Games who's the boss. And always remember, it's great to be in the Empire today.
The sun never sets. We dominate.